Hey guys, HDV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got even more leaks to go over about the Nintendo Switch 2. We also have some pretty big rumors to take a look at for Pokemon Legends ZA. Some other things have been happening as well. There's a lot of things to break down and take a look at today. If you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's go over all of the latest Nintendo Switch 2 leaks. Obviously, we went over the images yesterday. We now have more information about the console itself and some updates on those alleged images. So this is all taken from the Gaming Leaks and Rumors Reddit page, as well as a few other sources as well. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is this one here where it says VGC corroborates the Chinese leaked Nintendo Switch 2 pictures. So one of the VGC sources says that the Chinese leaked Nintendo Switch 2 pictures matches what they've been told. So they said, while the images are unverified, one source who has not seen the final Switch 2 console but has been briefed on Nintendo's plans told VGC that the Reddit images match what the company has told partners to expect from the design. So this is a VGC source who has been told about what the console itself is going to kind of be like, and that matches what the images kind of look like. So that's one thing basically saying, you know, that the images are true about the Nintendo Switch 2. The next one is this as well, where we have gaming accessories manufacturer manager says the Switch 2 leak is real. So we have, I don't know how to pronounce it, Hotnaker is the manager at Geekshare, a gaming accessories manufacturer. And basically they've come out and also said these images are real. So that's two kind of relatively decent sources now saying that the Nintendo Switch 2 images are real. We also have this here. So the leaked PCB has X6 printed on it, which matches the code for an earlier Switch 2 prototype. So here's the image zoomed in on the PCB to show the X6 code. Basically all it is just a zoomed in image of the X6 on the console. So this indicates that the leaked photos are from an older revision of the Switch 2. So although mass production could have started, these leaked images don't indicate that. From what others said in the comment section of the original post, the current Switch 2 version is X8. So these images were taken from an X6 version of the Switch 2, and the current Switch 2 kind of consoles that are being made are X8. So the images that were showcased are of an earlier prototype of the Nintendo Switch 2. TLDR, leaked photos are legit, but it's an older revision, not a mass production ready unit. So the Switch 2 may look a bit different to what the images we saw yesterday were. So the images are legit. So basically that is all kind of 100% true, but it's of an earlier model of the Nintendo Switch 2, if that makes sense. We also have this as well, where it's saying, you know, Necro Lipe Brazil reaffirms the Switch 2 leak is real. So, Switch 2, this is what they said about the leaks. A source of mine, the same one who provided me with the RAM memory data between 2022 and 2023, stated that the photo of the leaked hardware is true. Still, we will work with caution. This is hardware / plate dated October 2023. So loads of different sources saying the images are true, and again, it's looking like it's an earlier kind of prototype of this console. We also have Nintendo Prime here saying, update, the CAD files are self-admitted fan-made reverse engineering of the two real images. Because the guy is a 3D modeling enthusiast, the leaker himself, the two real images, however, are just that real. So what this basically means that the image that we saw yesterday, the 3D model ones are of what the leaker expects it to look like. So the actual images that show the Nintendo Switch 2 in terms of the Joy-Cons, like the actual ones where it isn't on like a 3D modeling program, they are legit. They are 100% legit. They are what the Switch 2 is going to be looking like. The images of the 3D version of it, that's what the leaker thinks is going to look like based on what the images are. So how he obtained either the images or the physical shells are unknown. Motherpad, however, follows in the remake Switch accessories. Also, people figured out the PCB was manufactured in October 2023. This means it's a shell of a dev unit or a prototype and may not be the final design, though it's likely close to the final. So basically, what all this means is that the images are true, what we went over yesterday. So obviously these images are what the leaker thinks that it's going to look like. So this is a rendering of what the leaker has made themselves of what they think is going to look like. But the actual images where we went over the kind of actual, like what it actually looks like, in terms of the casing and stuff like that. That's actually legit. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over that, and this is also a little bit more of an update about the specs as well. So this is kind of like, we went over the specs yesterday, but that was a lot of like kind of computerized information. This is more so easier to understand. So we've got Calmy here tweeting out saying, rumor unconfirmed images from the Nintendo Switch 2 have popped up online. So the specs are all legit as well, because the specs came out with these leaked images that are true. So this is what the Nintendo Switch is the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to have in it. So the handheld right above PS4 before DLSS. So right above PS4 in handheld. So it's going to be like a portable PlayStation 4. That's what the Switch 2 specs are going to be like in handheld. In docked, it's going to be between the PS4 Pro and the Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, should I say, before DLSS, with more modern hardware than the former. So it's going to be between the PS4 Pro and the Xbox Series S with more modern like hardware. So it's going to run really, really well, basically. It's going to be insane. The graphics is going to be really, really good. And dude, like, this is true as well, man. It's so exciting because we're so close to this reveal. So with the RAM, it's slower than the PS5 and the Xbox Series X in the speed department. So it's not as fast as the latest gen consoles, but more capacity than the Xbox Series S. Should have 10.5 to 11 gigabytes of RAM available to games going by the Switch 1's RAM allotment for its OS. In the storage, we have the UFS 3.1 max speed, should be a hair under the Xbox Series X. So it's very, very slight, like, lower storage than obviously the Xbox Series X, but still plenty fast, even if not maxed out. Lines up with what Digital Foundry and Nate Drake heard about the decompression techniques and fast load times of the Breath of the Wild tech demo, respectively, for each source. And then not only is the Switch 2 ARM-based rather than the x86 like the systems compared, it's also NVIDIA versus AMD. There are plenty of factors at play to where it's not apples to apples comparison, plus the native tensor cores of the Switch 2 will allow for DLSS, letting the system punch above its weight. So basically, all in all, this console is going to absolutely dominate the market, in my opinion. I cannot see how this doesn't do ridiculous numbers. It's basically what the people want. It's just a better version of the Switch. The Switch, one of the best selling consoles of all time, it's a little bit outdated, you know, in terms of what it can do. This is a massive step forward in that direction. I mean, Nintendo have never really been about graphics and stuff anyway. They've always gone with like the cartoony stuff with Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, everything like that. But dude, I can't wait to see what like Generation 10 is going to look like and stuff like that in these kind of like, it's just gonna be, dude, I'm so excited. I can barely speak. It's gonna be so good. Like, gone are the days of Generation 9 lagging and being a massive problem. Like, honestly, ZA is probably going to be on the Switch and the Switch 2 in terms of backwards compatibility. I honestly think the comparison between is going to be like next level. Like, people are going to want to play this on the Switch 2, not the Switch, because it's just going to run so much better. So I really hope the Switch 2 comes out before Legend ZA, because I want to play Legend ZA on the Switch 2. I want to play it with all of this stuff going on. I don't want to play it on a system where it could potentially lag and stuff like that. So fingers crossed the Switch 2 does come out first, which it's likely to as well, but obviously we'll have to wait and see. So that's all the Switch 2 stuff, all the leaks, all the updates. So that's all confirmed now. Like I say, there are actual images of the Switch 2 on the internet right now. Hopefully we get some sort of reveal soon. Fingers crossed with that. Moving on, I did want to quickly go over this. So I won't spend a lot of time going over this, but basically Nintendo are actually now suing Palworld. So Nintendo and the Pokemon Company announced 12 hours ago that they have filed a lawsuit in the Tokyo District Court for patent and intellectual property infringement against Pocketpair in their game Palworld. So basically they're suing Palworld for a patent, so not copyright. I'd understand with copyright because they have clearly copied, you know, certain Pokemon that Palworld have. But they're suing the patent, so we don't know what they're actually suing. If it is about just like catching things, then that's really bad for like the gaming space, because it's very similar to obviously Legends Arceus and Palworld and how you like catch the kind of creatures. Does that mean that every single time a game comes out that's like that, it's just going to get sued by Nintendo? So yeah, I understand for copyright 100%, but the patent, I feel like, is a step in the wrong direction. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, it's taken them a while to kind of get all this information and stuff, but I don't see how Palworld really wins this lawsuit. Nintendo have got a ridiculous track record when it comes to lawsuits and stuff like that, so I can't see Palworld winning this. But yeah, very, very interesting that they're suing the patent and not the actual copyright. But either way, that's that. Finishing things off for today's video as well, I wanted to quickly go over this rumor here. So this popped up, it just says info, posted by Anonymous. It's about Legends ZA. They've got a picture of a Dragonite, obviously posted on 4chan, so take it with a massive grain of salt. There's not really a lot of information here, there's a few lines of text, but sometimes they are more likely to be true, I don't know. But it says the starters are Scorbunny, Snivy, and Piplup, and they all receive new forms. So again, that's what a lot of people are expecting the starters to be. They're getting a lot of merch for 2025. And obviously they all kind of have some sort of relevance to Paris as well, in what the actual Pokemon are. Obviously with Empoleon, with Napoleon, we have Snivy, which is very French themed, and then also Scorbunny because of like football and stuff like that. So very much all in the way of how, you know, Paris works and the French themes and stuff like that. So Serperior becomes a grass dragon type. You know, definitely makes sense. It does get access to like Dragon Pulse and stuff like that. If it keeps Contrary though, and it gets access to like Draco Meteor, this thing's going to be busted as hell. It's going to obviously be 4 times weak to Ice, but getting a +2 from Draco Meteor and Leaf Storm is absolutely ridiculous. Empoleon is going to become a water fighting type, so we lose the steel type on Empoleon. And then as well as that, Cinderace is going to become a fire electric type. So, I mean, I always thought that Cinderace was going to be a fire electric. When we first saw it, in like the leaks and stuff, I was like, oh, it's got to be an electric type, because it just looks like it. It's a very fast bunny rabbit. But yeah, fire electric would be really cool. Interesting though that this is quad weak to ground, this is quad weak to ice. This isn't quad weak to anything, but yeah, a couple of quad weaknesses for the starters if this turns out to be true. Says new Kalos Mega Starter Evolutions or Starter Mega Evolutions all keep the same type. So Greninja's going to stay as Water Dark, Delphox is going to stay as Water as Fire Psychic, and then Chestnut is going to stay as Grass Fighting. So that is apparently happening. Again, I really want to see the Kalos starters getting Mega Evolutions. I can't believe they didn't get it in the original generation 6 games. So that's apparently happening. The Pokedex is roughly 280, so it's bigger than Arceus. So yeah, Legends Arceus was what, like 220, 240, something like that. So it's about 40, 60 more Pokemon in this Pokedex, which is weird because obviously I feel like the actual location itself is going to be smaller if we are just trapped inside a city. How are they going to fit 280 Pokemon in a city? Like, it's just not going to happen. So there has to be like outskirts we'd be able to go to and stuff like that. But either way, apparently the Pokedex is going to be around 280 Pokemon long, which it's not too bad. I mean, I'm expecting 100% to see the Pokemon that are not already on the Switch. So we already know that Furfrow's in the game, obviously, but the Elemental Monkeys and then Patrat and Watchog are the only other evolution lines that aren't on the Switch. And I could definitely see them being in the game as well, because then they can probably close down Pokemon Bank, which is probably what they want to do, because obviously they don't really probably want the servers up because it's just costing them money and stuff like that. So if all the Pokemon are available on the Switch in some way, shape, or form, then they don't really need Pokemon Bank anymore, which will be a dark day because gone are the days of being able to transfer anything from the 3DS and below up to the Nintendo Switch. So I think if they do announce the closure of Pokemon Bank, I think they'll give us like a relatively decent amount of time. They'll be like, in 6 months, Pokemon Bank is going to go down. So you'll have plenty of time to do things. Obviously, when it comes to like shiny hunting Pokemon and stuff, that would be a bit of a race against the clock. Because, you know, the 1 in 8,000, the 1 in 4,000 hunts that are on Generation 6 and below. Like Poipole, for example, the only way you can get shiny Poipole is through Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. If you're trying to get that before Bank closes, it's a race against time. So yeah, I think that will be the case, but obviously we'll have to wait and see. It says there's no time travel. You live in the time period that ZA is set. So obviously with Legends Arceus, we were transported into Hisui, but this time we just live in that time period regardless. Again, it doesn't say when the time period is. It just says we live in that time period anyway. So it doesn't say in the past or in the future. It just says in that time period. The first main mission makes you have to go and explore the first area to collect materials for the first bit of building. So I mean, that kind of makes sense as a bit of a tutorial because it would show you how to catch Pokemon. It would show you how to, I guess, get the materials and stuff, and stuff like that. So yeah, I could definitely see something like that happening. It's got to be a mission that eases you into the game, basically. It says there's going to be 8 areas around Lumiose known as zones. It's where you can catch Pokemon and they attack you. So yeah, I mean, this is what I kind of expect to happen, like having outskirts, zones, or whatever you want to call it, mini wild areas. That would be where we go and catch Pokemon and they can attack us and stuff. Because I just can't see Pokemon attacking us in the city. Because I feel like there's going to be a lot more kind of, I don't know, laid back. And I think the Pokemon that are in the city are going to be not bothered about attacking. And because obviously at the end of the day, the whole idea is to allow a place for Pokemon and people to live in harmony. So the Pokemon that live in the city are not going to be attacking people. But obviously the Pokemon in the outskirts are going to be still very wild and aggressive and stuff like that. You can also catch around 30 Pokemon in the city itself, so that's quite interesting. Like, where would they be caught? I'm assuming like the city might have like sewers or something like that, and that's where you can catch them. But yeah, that's very, very interesting. It says rideable Pokemon do return as well as fast travel. So yeah, I mean, I kind of see both sides of the argument. Like, are we going to need to fly? I mean, if there are zones, then yeah, that's why fast travel would definitely return. If we were just stuck in the city, I don't think rideable Pokemon really makes that much sense. But yeah, if there's 8 zones to cover, there will be oceans, there will be mountains to climb, there will be things to fly around. So yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. It says Mega Dragonite, Arbok, and Dusknoir. So yeah, I mean, Mega Dragonite, I think a lot of people want to see that. Arbok, I think a Mega Arbok would be really cool, being like Poison Dark or something like that. And then Dusknoir as well. I don't think it needs a Mega Evolution, but either way, apparently it's going to get one according to this person. And then it says release of Spring 2025. So yeah, I mean, it's not really got anything that I disagree with. I do like a lot of the stuff. I like the starters getting new forms. I like the other starters getting Mega Evolutions. 280 I feel like could be a bit bigger, but obviously Legends Arceus was, you know, smaller than that, and I still really, really enjoyed Legends Arceus, so maybe it wouldn't be that bad. Rideable Pokemon return, 8 areas as well to kind of explore, missions, stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind this rumor at all. I kind of like it if it is true. But either way, let me know your thoughts on this rumor here. Do you agree with it or not? Would you like it to be real or not? And then also, let me know your thoughts on everything else that we covered today as well. When will this Switch 2 get announced? Hopefully very, very soon. But either way, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content, ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, peace.